Hello, I'm Cindy Daly, a staff attorney at Regional Housing Legal Services. Thanks for tuning in to our series on funding resources for affordable housing and community development work. We've prepared 7 short videos that you can watch whenever you have a few minutes. They run 5 to 10 minutes in length. At the end of each video, there's a web address where you can download the slides. Regional Housing is a nonprofit law firm that focuses on affordable housing, community and economic development, utility matters, and the preservation of home ownership and affordable rentals. RHLS provides innovative project and policy solutions that help create sustainable communities, offering decent, safe, and affordable homes for lower-income Pennsylvanians. The videos are meant to be an introduction and overview of each funding source. The information is pretty general. Each program does have detailed guidelines. The videos are designed for people with limited housing development experience who want to know more about how to create more affordable homes. We're focusing on resources for affordable housing development. We will not be covering programs for tenants, home buyers, or homeowners. And we're just covering the major and most commonly used programs. So again, this is just an overview. If you have a development project in mind and want more information, get in touch with us. The contact information is at the end of the video, and we will connect you with one of our attorneys. And I need to be clear that this video is not providing legal advice. We're providing information that is accurate as of early November 2024, but it is subject to change. Check with the administering agencies for an updated and complete regulations. Links are provided in the presentation. In this video, I'm going to talk about Community Development Block Grant Program, or CDBG. CDBG was created by the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, which consolidated 7 individual programs into a block grant to local jurisdictions. The funds are distributed annually according to a formula that takes into account population, poverty, age of housing, housing overcrowding, and growth lag. CDBG's purpose is to help local governments improve communities by providing decent housing, viable neighborhoods, and more jobs, quote, principally for low and moderate income persons, end quote. What does principally for mean? 70% of the funds must benefit people at or below 80% of area median income. The law specifies that what activities may be funded with CDBG. The list is pretty long and includes much more than housing and community development. In the affordable housing arena, CDBG may pay for rehabilitation, new construction, but only by certified nonprofit community-based development organizations, down payment and closing cost assistance, and housing counseling. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, sends the money to local governments called entitlement communities. Entitlement communities include cities with populations of at least 50,000 people, principal cities of metropolitan statistical areas, even if their population is less than 50,000, certain counties with populations of at least 200,000, not counting the population of entitlement cities within the county, and a few smaller counties. But small counties and municipalities that don't meet these thresholds are not totally left out. States receive CDBG funds for non-entitlement communities, or what we call the balance of state. In Pennsylvania, the Department of Community and Economic Development, or DCED, administers these funds according to a state law known as Act 179. Act 179 has a complicated formula for allocating funds to counties and municipalities that do not receive direct allocations from HUD. Act 179 also reserves up to 13% of the amount DCED receives for competitive grants. The competitive grants are open to all Act 179 non-entitlement communities, that is, very small jurisdictions, and Act 179 entitlement communities with populations of less than 10,000 residents. Note that these are entitlement communities under the state law, not HUD-designated entitlement communities. A city or county that receives funds may administer programs themselves. The city or county may also grant CDBG funds to private entities, both nonprofit and for-profit. So if you're an organization that wants to use CDBG funds, you have to apply to your city or county. DCED only subcontracts the funds and only to local governments. They don't carry out any projects directly. Congress appropriated $3.3 billion in CDBG funds for fiscal year 2024, the same as the previous 2 years. Pennsylvania got $186 million, with $145 million going to HUD-designated entitlement communities and $41 million to DCED. Fiscal year 2025 began on October 1st, but Congress has not yet approved a budget for the current year, only a short-term continuing resolution to keep the government running while a budget is being negotiated. You can have a voice in how your community's CDBG money is spent. Every entitlement community must submit to HUD a consolidated plan, generally referred to as the CON plan. The CON plan says how the jurisdiction will use its CDBG funds, as well as funding from 2 other federal programs, Home and Emergency Solutions Grants. Federal law requires planners to seek citizen input through public meetings and comments. Check your city's or county's website to find the CON plan for your area. DCED also does a CON plan that's statewide, and they seek stakeholder input as well. If you want more information about CDBG, you can download these slides at www.rhls.org/PA funding report. Another good resource is the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. On their website, you can find the Advocate's Guide with information about almost all the federal housing programs, as well as information on the federal budget. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you found this video useful. If you want more information, contact us at 215-572-7300 or go to www.rhls.org. See you next time.